Okay then, hunters, we have got loads to go over today as we've got a brand new patch update that's going to be happening tomorrow, and we're going to address the changes that are happening with that one. On top of that, it does appear that the reviews are starting to take a 180 and are now starting to get a little bit more positive. We can see some changes on top of the fact that this game seems to be beating records across the board. We're hitting top of charts left, right, and center. We've got some stuff coming from the Reddit, and we're going to get this one to you guys right now. If you haven't already, smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. And we're still giving away a copy of the game. We're going to be giving that one away by the end of the week. If you want to get involved with it, it is very, very simple. Just head down to the comment section and input a sword emoji and it'll enter you in. We'll announce it by the end of the week on the video, so make sure you stay tuned for that one. Now, that being said, let's dive on into the game and see what it is that's happening right now. So starting off, we have a post coming up from the Monster Hunter Twitter page right here that states, good news, a patch addressing known progression blockers will deploy tomorrow morning. When the update drops, players will be briefly removed from their online session, but you'll be able to jump straight back in after updating. The full details are as follows, and coming from the Monster Hunter status page, we can see right here that it states, heads up hunters, an update is planned to go live on all platforms at 12 AM PST, 8 AM GMT on March 4th, with the fixes of issues within the ingredient center with the grill a meal and story progression in chapter 5-2, a world turned upside down. Once the update is out, any online sessions will be discontinued and you will need to update to continue playing online. Now, this is obviously very, very helpful. We knew full well that the grill a meal ingredient center problem was definitely a thing, and now there is a bit of a blocker happening on chapter 5-2. They are going to be resolving that one as well. So if you are struggling with that, you will no longer have that problem. Now, taking a look at the player base itself, though, at the moment, obviously, it is midnight here in the UK, so I'm expecting numbers to be at a bit of a low, although overall, what we are experiencing now is the decline that naturally happens after new games hit their peak. The 24-hour peak is at around 1.2 million, which is insane, and the total player base right now playing is at around 480,000. Again, expected with the time of day that I'm actually recording this, but it appears that the game will not be stopped because oh freaking my, this game is seeming to do some incredible things. As far as its top selling games right now, Monster Hunter is sat at #1 above Counter-Strike 2, Repo, 2 Point Museum, and Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals is a free game. This is a AAA priced, expensive ass game, and it's making up that space and hitting the top spot quite easily, making a ton of sales. Now, we are waiting for Capcom to release their official sales numbers, but we think that this is going to be in the millions. I cannot wait to see exactly how many copies they've managed to sell within the first week, or at least generally that's how these companies operate. We'll get the first figures inside of the first week. Now, not only that, it also seems to be exceeding expectations inside of the most played within the top 100 games. The only game to be above it right now is Counter-Strike 2, but it's sat above Dota 2, Marvel Rivals, PUBG, Rust, and all of the iconic games that you guys know and love. It appears that Monster Hunter Worlds is really smashing the mark when it comes to the numbers behind the scenes on this one. It does not surprise me whatsoever, but it is really nice to see that a Monster Hunter game from Capcom is now finally getting the exposure that it deserves. And this game is pretty much like the Elden Ring effect. If we take a look at the way that this has operated in the past with the Dark Souls style games and all of the Souls-like movement, Elden Ring came along, which was a little bit more easier, a little bit more casual player friendly, we'll call it, and that's exactly what Monster Hunter Wilds is. It's definitely a lot more casual player friendly, and it's not as difficult as what we experienced from Worlds or even Rise. So it's definitely a positive right now, and I can't wait to see exactly what they do in the future. Now, inside of the game, though, there does seem to be some things that you guys need to take a look at. The damage numbers on this for the bow definitely seem to be hitting the spot. I know a lot of you guys, like myself, do prefer that melee range movement and are moving probably towards the greatsword, longsword, and or sword and shield. The dual blades as well seems to be quite a popular movement, but do not sit and sleep on this bow. There is absolute numbers to be made from this. Maybe even make this a secondary weapon, because it definitely seems to be overperforming right now. As to whether it's actually going to stay that way, we'll have to wait and see. But it appears that players are not all happy with the main UI inside of the game, and this one probably irritates me the absolute most. This is the worst pop-up in the menu menu in the game. Please just automatically send the item when I'm full. Why do I have to go through 2 menus, press 3 buttons, all while my entire view is obscured? Now, this is a absolute nightmare, because if you guys are doing what you should be doing when traveling from location to location, you'll be picking up resources, be picking up mushrooms, be picking up all sorts of pods and stuff like that. And if your inventory load is full, you are not going to be able to actually occur those. So you are having to send them over to your field pouch, which is an absolute bloody nightmare, because it sends you up with these 2 on-screen pop-ups. As to why this is actually a thing and who thought that this was a good idea, I have no clue whatsoever. The way that they've made resource picking inside of this game so much easier in the past is absolutely insane. You guys are able to pick up twice the amount of resources, twice as quickly, whilst traveling 3 times as faster, and you get stopped by stuff like this. It's the massive deterrent, and it makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. Let me know in the comment section if you agree with this one, and if this is one that is annoying you as much as it is annoying me, and by the looks of things, most have read it. But now, taking a look at your top comments, we've got a lot to go over, as you guys have always got some interesting stuff to say, and you definitely are not shy when it comes to it. This first one right here states, was previously a world hunter, gonna support both games with constructive feedback and do what any Monster Hunter vets do, helping new players in game. Now, I absolutely love that, and I think that a community that sticks together is a community that does well together, so it's definitely worth being able to do that. And a massive shout out to the Monster Hunter vets out there who are actually helping a lot of new players. This next one right here states, I did have a bad time running the game, but when I closed the game, I noticed I had 6 YouTube tabs open. Closed them, and it was running better. And yeah, that may actually well happen. Although, obviously, we do have driver updates, changes to make, and settings to adjust, but it doesn't appear that the main movement inside of it is going to get any better, because apparently there's not much room for that. So we'll have to wait and see exactly how that one goes, and if the optimization is going to get any better for us. This next one states, finally working on issues. The game has been out for a day. Now, the interesting concept around this one is pretty damn simple. Although the game has only been out for maybe 48 hours at the point of recording, maybe 3 days or something like that, it does seem to be the case that during the betas, the optimization was a ginormous problem. It's always been a bit of an issue, and people were making complaints left, right, and center throughout all of the betas that the optimization just wasn't on point. To the point where we even received a benchmark application on the Steam page itself, so you could test it out before you actually purchased it. Now, obviously, it's only been out for a couple of days, but that's not what this means. Yes, it's finally obviously being worked on, and issues are now finally being patched up, because realistically, these issues that people are complaining about have been there since the game was in beta. That's all I'm going to get into with that one. We're not going to give that too much attention. But nonetheless, hopefully the game does continue to do well and continues to exceed expectations across the board, because my lord, I've not had this much fun in a game for a little while. Nonetheless, that's unfortunately we've got time for today. Thank you so much again for watching, guys. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe, post notifications turned on. Appreciate your faces, and as always, I'll see you in the clouds.